back in the day when it first came out. It was definitely one of my favorites. I loved the Thunder Buddies part. Thought it was really creative the way that they had the teddy bear come to life. Because, when we all were kids, like we always dreamed of our, toys having personalities of their own. So I was definitely a fan. And then, of course, I went back and rewatched them last year before we shot this. And I love that they're doing a prequel of it. It's really fun to see Ted throughout the ages.
Yeah. And tell me, I suppose in terms of the movie, we see the women that are proclaimed with Ted are sort of ditzy type blondes and sort of dare I say it's more looks and body orientated there in terms of mind or personalities. Can you tell us a bit about in the movie we saw these characters were sort of fleeting sort of characters. They didn't really have much of a backstory. Is this sort of different in terms of the TV series? Are we going delving more into these sort of characters? And can you tell us how Peaches sort of differs your character?
Yeah, so it's kind of an homage to the first film. It's basically the same sort of setup of the three women on the couch partying with Ted. And it's basically the same concept of just showing how Ted really hasn't changed his ways as, he's doing the same thing when he's younger as when he's older. And so they don't dive too much into our characters, but you never know. Season 2, maybe they'll have us back.
Yeah, and in terms of playing that sort of role, is it sort of is there are you sort of playing this naivety, this sort of free flowing sort of party goer? Is that the sort of vibe that you sort of bring across, that it's about the party and sort of living in the moment and that sort of carefree attitude? And in terms of how do you sort of portray, how do you like to put your own sort of twist in sort of these sort of characters that dare I say there's not much material to go on, so as I suppose as an actress you have to try and reinvent the wheel, I imagine.
Yeah, so you kind of just have to, back in the day, I don't drink anymore, but I used to definitely be a partier in my college days. And, just kind of dug in there and brought that to the character and had some fun with it. I definitely have had my fair share of drinks. So I was able to they wanted us to play like we had been drinking for a while. And so it was a lot of fun. And we had to mime Ted being there because
Yeah.
he wasn't there. And at first they had a puppeteer for rehearsal with a fake Ted. And then they took him out, and Seth MacFarlane directed the episode. And he was doing the lines behind the camera as he was directing. And so it was very fun having to kind of, imagine this giant teddy bear sitting next to you, like having drinks with you.
And I imagine in sort of the movie there was sort of props and there was sort of moments of intimacy and encounters between Ted and his sort of girlfriend. Is that something sort of similar in the sort of TV series? Dare I say, is there any sort of making out with a teddy bear, or is there any sort of scenes with a teddy bear? And as an actress trying to imagine that or play that or working with an actual prop like that, is that quite challenging or difficult, or is it comedic sort of banter and laughter when the cameras stop rolling?
Well, we did not have to make out with him, luckily. I think he's kind of supposed to be in high school. I'm not really sure that Ted has an actual age, but it did cross my mind a couple times, like, they want him to go to high school because Mark Wahlberg's character, John Bennett, is 16. And so in the scene we're in, the dad comes in and is furious because the TV is broke and there's trash all over the place and there's these overage girls hanging out with him. And he tells him that he wants him to go to school. And so it definitely had me laughing, like, how old is Ted supposed to be?
And I suppose, Shannon, in terms of this the episodes that you shot for season one and Ted? Was it maybe were you a week or 2 weeks on sort of set? And in terms of working with Seth MacFarlane, was he constantly giving you directions and pointers on where he wanted you to go with the character?
Yeah, we were only there for one day actually. But yes, Seth MacFarlane was so nice and he definitely was giving us some direction while we were on set. He had us, I think he wanted us to play a little bit more into the partying aspect. I think at first when the dad walked in, we were kind of, playing it very grounded. And he was like, I want you to play it a little bit more like drunk and that you're not really paying attention or you don't have much stakes in the fact that the dad is walking in on you guys.
Yeah. And Shannon, in terms of being cast for this role, was it the usual sort of talent agent audition sort of process, or was there a bit of a unique sort of backstory in terms of being landing to this role? Was it a quick turnaround, or were you waiting on tender hooks for that phone call for a while?
Yeah, so it was a typical, my agent and manager got me the audition and there was three roles because it was the three girls. And I think they were kind of playing musical chairs with us, trying to figure out like which line should go to who. And so I do remember auditioning for a couple of the different parts and then they just kind of slid us into which spot they wanted us.
Yeah. And did you get much interactions with the other members of the cast? I know you work closely with Seth, but did you get to work a bit with Scott Grimes? And is there scenes between yourself and Max Burkholder, who plays the young John Bennett as well?
Yes, we were in the scene with Scotty Grimes and Georgia Wiggum, who plays
Okay.
Blair, and she's John's cousin who lives with them. And they were amazing. We got to hang out with them in the green room, I guess you would call it. And they were very personable. A lot of times, you can come across cast members that are, leads who aren't as friendly, and they were absolutely super welcoming, and it was a really great experience.
Yeah, and Shannon, to be involved in this sort of upcoming blockbuster TV series, because we know the popularity the movie had, so it is going to be latched on now in terms of Peacock sort of channel, in terms of its premiere as well. Is there great sense of excitement and buzz for you as a budding sort of actress to land the role in this concept that you could imagine that if the pickup is quite successful, could run for 3 or 4 seasons. And as we know, as the seasons go on, they sort of delve more into the backstory of the different sort of characters. So could this maybe you see open up many opportunities and doors for you going forward in 2024?
Work always begets work. So it doesn't matter how small or big the role is, it could always lead to something, which is really exciting. And to be a part of such an iconic series is incredible, and I'm really excited that it'll start off the year on the right foot, especially after the writer's strike. It's really awesome to have something that's coming out that I can promote, and yeah, it was an amazing experience, and I'm really lucky that I got the opportunity.
Yeah, and on that final note, Shannon Dee, for the final 30 seconds, I'm going to turn her over to you. You might enlighten all our viewers and all our listeners here in Ireland why they should tune in en masse to the Peacock channel, watch the first season of Ted when it airs, and Shannon Dee, what's in store for them?
I mean, I haven't seen it, but the script, I got to read the pilot. I'm in the pilot, and I love a prequel. I love seeing backstories to, the first movie starts with like how Ted and John meet and become friends. So we kind of get their backstory that way. But, we're missing a big chunk of what got them to their friendship as adults. So I think it'll be wildly entertaining, same kind of humor, same amazing funny bear. So I would definitely tune in.
Okay. And on that note, all that's left to say is for me, Jim Conlan, to you, Shannon Dee, we wish you all the best with Ted's TV series. Do check Shannon Dee out. She plays the character Peaches in the first season of Ted, which is dropping in the new year on the Peacock channel here in Ireland and the UK. Features an all-star cast, including Seth MacFarlane, director, producer, who plays Ted, Max Bordholder, who plays a young John Bennett, Scott Grimes, who plays Matt Bennett, Alana Ubach, who plays Scott Bennett, the one and only Georgia Witcham, who plays Blair Bennett, Liz Rickham, and Francesca Oberg, and our special guest this evening, the one and only Shannon Dee. But all that's left to say is from me, Jim Conlan, to you, Shannon Dee, stay safe and take care.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me.
Cheers. Thank you, Shannon.
Thank you so much.